text-to-voice synthesis provided by Vidnami. Killing the Beast, notice how they did it. January 21, 2021 by Anna von Reitz. Under Roman civil law, which is what the City of Rome, the City of New York, the Inner City of London, the Municipality of Washington, D.C., and various other entities run under, it's okay to lie, cheat, steal, deceive, and con so long as you don't get caught. Then, if you get caught, all bets are off. So the municipal government, operating as a municipal corporation, was used to do the actual dirty work, under the idea that it was okay for them to do it. After all, as long as they didn't get caught, it was perfectly legal under Roman civil law for them to commit crimes of fraud and deceit. Thus, it's the municipal government that pulls off the Corporations Act of 1870, and it's the territorial government making use of that prior felony to promote the Act of 1871 boondoggle. They work hand in glove. This same relationship can be observed in operation throughout the Great Fraud. The municipal government, which as part of the Holy Roman Empire lays the groundwork, and the Brits are the users and implementers of what the HRE constructs. Franklin Delano Roosevelt proclaims all municipal citizens of the United States to be slaves of the municipal theocracy in his first inaugural address and claims that it is a holy cause to enslave them. The British territorial government then greases the wheels by accidentally on purpose misidentifying millions of Americans as municipal citizens of the United States, and latching onto them as runaway slaves. What was illegal for the British government was legal for the Pope, so they colluded together. The Pope was allowed to enslave, and the Brits were allowed to profit from it, by selling Americans to the Pope, and all because of the loopholes available under the Roman civil law. This ability of the municipal government to get away with crimes thanks to adopting the Roman civil law, is what leads to the pernicious relationship between the popes, the kings and queens, and the Lord Mayor of London. The Roman civil law provides avenues to safe corruption that are unavailable under any form of common law. So the Holy Roman Empire sets it up, and the Brits kick the ball. And the Holy Roman Empire sets it up, and the Brits kick the ball. And the Holy Roman Empire sets it up again, and the Brits kick the ball. Whatever evil thing you discover, be it an election fraud or an embezzlement, you will observe this same relationship over and over and over again. The municipal agents do the actual dirt, because under their law, they can, so long as they don't get caught, and the Brits then take advantage of it. This leads to a very special collusion between the popes, the monarchs, and the Lord Mayor, all of it designed to defraud you and reduce you to slavery of a most abject kind. Why? Because slavery is immensely profitable, and although the rest of the world has outlawed slavery since 1926, the Holy See has clung to it and the Roman civil law has always allowed it. So they can, legally, own slaves, when nobody else can. Isn't that just charming? The Roman Catholic Church and the Holy Roman Empire, the last, legal, slave owners on earth. The relative lawlessness available under the Roman civil law has allowed the municipal government of the United States to promote endless offenses against common decency, and they have made full advantage of it. Our British minions have for the most part, been all too eager to profit themselves from every inroad of corruption that the HRE set up for them. And for centuries, they have amiably shared the profits of their Commonwealth system, with the first cuts going to the Pope in exchange for the dirty work and slave labor, and the second drabs going to the British overseers of the slaves. The slaves, of course, get nothing but lip service and more taxes. So now you begin to understand the Miller Act and the creation of child labor contracts exercised against municipal franchises operated in our names by the DTCC, and the Territorial Buck Act in 1940. No doubt they enjoyed the joke in Buckingham Palace. We, however, find very little to be amused about. All their fraud games were piling up huge debts that innocent third parties were being racketeered against to pay. Enter the Internal Revenue Service and the IRS, both, preying upon clueless Americans for 6 generations. Enter the commercial banks, pretending that Joanne Beth Johnson was actually a municipal corporation doing business as Joanne Beth Johnson. Oh, and yes, we Americans were being blamed for their criminality on a worldwide basis the whole time that we were suffering at home, because these cheats were lying to us and using false flags to mislead us, perfectly allowable under Roman civil law, so long as we didn't catch on into endless mercenary conflicts conveniently mislabeled as wars. Notice their current war against the common cold virus, which winds up being a mechanism to destroy small businesses and dump trainloads of money into their coffers, while providing them an excuse to claim ownership interests in living flesh via insertion of their patented mRNA into our natural genome under the guise of being a vaccine. Remember, under their law, it is legal to lie, cheat, steal, and use fraud of all kinds, so long as they don't get caught. Speaking for myself and all the Americans I know, it's time for the Roman civil law to hit the dustbin of history, and for the Holy Roman Empire to go down with it, and without the benefit of bankruptcy protection provided by the victims. It is precisely their fear of the retribution earned by the Holy Roman Empire that is prompting the Italian government to collapse and seek reform. They know what has been going on here. They know that they will be blamed for it, in the same way that the Americans have been blamed for the actions of the U.S. But at the end of the day, what is really called for is not another circling of the wagons and endless hand-washing. What's needed is the worldwide banning of the Roman civil law, making it illegal to use it in any venue in any jurisdiction at all. This is the only way that we can, collectively, as living people, put an end to this ancient source of corruption and oppression. It's the only way that we can end slavery of all kinds, once and for all, worldwide. And it is the only way to put a stop to legalized lying and cheating on the part of corporations and governments. So, once again, people of the world, it comes down to you and what you think and what you need and what you believe in. Do you approve of slavery being practiced by any government, anywhere in the modern world? We don't. Do you approve of legalized lying, theft, and fraud being practiced by any corporation in the modern world? We don't. Join us. If you are an American, go to www.theamericanstatesassembly.net and come home to the land and soil jurisdiction you are heir to. Come back under the protections of the constitutions and the public law. Be recognized as Americans. And if you are not Americans, but have suffered just the same, be aware that you can record your paramount claim to your DNA and your identity and all your assets and whatever guarantees your government is supposed to provide, via our International Land Recording System (LRS). For a minimal service fee, you can establish your status as a living man or woman and claim your lawful person proper name in international jurisdiction and begin the process of disentangling yourself and your children and your other assets from the Roman slave scheme. Then, together, we can kill the beast, and put it down forever. Its name is the Holy Roman Empire, which, as Voltaire observed, is not holy, not Roman, and not an empire.